Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to another Tuesday night right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. It's Healthy Love Night. How you doing? Hope you're keeping healthy. Hope you're keeping strong. I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those around the globe on One Harmony Radio, locked in over there from the UK. Top of the morning to you guys over there. I want to say big ups to those on WGLRO, home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show, taking from the sheets to the streets on the People's Station. All those from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. Big ups to you. Those who are locked in on PEMGTV.com, welcome. And of course, right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word. I wouldn't even try. Kicking it off with a little Tushy. It's called Best Life. I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in the moment, Pulse Media Group is there for you. When being in the moment is priceless, that is. What can they do for you? Everything you see right here on kevinstew.com and so much more. They can create your website for you. They can host your website for you if you already have it created. If you want to do some streaming, give them a call because they have the solution for you. Especially if you want to do something like what I do. Yeah, everything that you see right here on kevinstew.com, they can hook you up with that. And so much more. Can you imagine having your own internet broadcasting station? Streaming videos. Your own internet TV station. Get it right. Don't get it twisted. Get them a call, 754-999-6020. Or visit them at paulcmg.com. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, yeah? Especially now where we have to do all this social distancing. Now is the time you want to get in touch. And keep in touch. Once I have the energy, nothing could ever hold me down. I don't like no kind of bad vibes around me. So clear the way. I want to say big ups to those who are in the stew pot right now. Welcome to the show. Inviting y'all to jump into the stew pot. It's where we keep things bubbling. Others call it a chat room, but we're really fancy over here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Specifically right here at kevinstew.com. Others call it a chat room. We have the stew pot. It's our interactive section on kevinstew.com where you come on in. It's a judgment-free zone. You comment. You can change your name if you want to. You can remain anonymous if you want to. Either way, I'm fine as long as you just share it with somebody, call somebody, tell somebody, hey, listen, I'm over here on kevinstew.com. Come join me. Jump in the stew pot. And things are really nice. You know, that's how we roll. All right, so I want to say big ups to the Jamaican in the pot, as in the person who is logged in from Jamaica. Big ups to you. And 43, welcome. All of you other guys, waiting. We're waiting for you. Come on in. The water is fine. So, one of the things that has always been a part of the coffee pot or the water cooler conversation, well, when nobody's gathering around any water fountains right now, nobody's really, except if you're gathering for protests, which is kind of interesting because people are not gathering in the office, but they're gathering out in public in protest. Kind of have to wonder, is COVID-19 on break? Is it spring break for COVID-19? It's paused for the summer. What's going on? We really don't know. As states relax, and this is information from U.S. News, as states relax coronavirus mitigation measures and begin to reopen, people who don't show symptoms of the coronavirus could still be spreading it. Like, there weren't. Oh, well, I guess that proves that it was being spread by people who weren't showing symptoms from before. Which then makes you ask the question, really and truly, how long has this virus been in circulation? Testing started at point A. We're now at point B. But apparently there's a point before point A. So maybe when testing started, that was really point C. And there was a point when it came into the country, and a point where it spread across the country, and then a point where they started testing in the country. You follow me? So, all along, there have been people who have not been showing symptoms. So, there's nothing new there. And based on just this line alone, it gives me the impression that, hey, people knew about this. People knew that the scientists already knew that there would be people who are asymptomatic. 2 studies published in the last week of May detail asymptomatic cases of the virus, with one finding that 81% of people who tested positive for COVID-19 on a cruise ship did not show symptoms. Passengers on the cruise ship, which left from Argentina in mid-March, were all screened for coronavirus symptoms before boarding the planned 21-day Antarctic voyage. So, nobody? Not one showed any symptoms? The other test found that 42% of a group of infected people in Wuhan, China, were asymptomatic. The patients were either exposed to someone who had the virus or, here we go with this again, a seafood market that some believe is the origin for the outbreak. I'm pretty sure the number of people who believe that the seafood market was the origin has reduced significantly. Of course, there are some who still hold on to, yes, it was the seafood market and the bat soup. Whatever. Taken together, though, the studies suggest that the number of people who have the virus without knowing it could be quite significant. As countries progress out of lockdown, a high proportion of infected but asymptomatic individuals may mean that a much higher percentage of the population than expected may have been infected. Gee, you think? Alan Smith, the joint editor-in-chief of the journal Thorax, where the cruise ship study was published, gave that information in a statement. This week, the US reached, being the last week in May, the US reached the grim milestone of 100,000 deaths from COVID-19. Health officials report that the case count is nearing 1.7 million, according to Johns Hopkins University. All 50 states have started reopening non-essential businesses in an effort to kickstart their struggling economies. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has put the estimate of asymptomatic cases at 35% lower than the two studies. The CDC cautions that these cases are challenging to identify because individuals do not know they are infected unless they are tested, typically as part of a scientific study. Now, before I go on, you notice the trend continues. So you hear that there has been 100,000 deaths from COVID-19, and you hear that there has been 1.7 million infected, or the number is nearing 1.7. So out of that 1.7 million, 100,000 have died. What happened to the remaining 1.6 million? Oh, right. There are more recoveries than there are deaths. Remember that. And I've always said it. I don't hold back when I'm saying it. In fact, let me go ahead and give you today's numbers. Let me pull this up right now. And just to make sure that you where is my little thingy? Here we go. So let me give you the actual numbers worldwide. 7,318,124 cases worldwide. The deaths? 413,648. The recoveries? 3,602,580. That's the recoveries. You get that? Anybody missed it? Do I need to repeat it or say it slower? I'll just repeat it for the sake of repeating it. 7.3 million cases. 413,650, let's call it that. Round it up. Deaths. And 3.6 million recovered. Just rounding it off. But doesn't that tell you something? But, of course, What we hear is the amount of deaths. If you want to get more specific, we'll come to the US. And in the US, there have been 2,045,549 cases, 114,148 deaths, and 788,862 recoveries. You're talking about 7 times as many recoveries as deaths. What? I don't make up the figures. I just pull them up and present them. That's all I do. As it is right now, there are what 1,142,539 active cases. 16,952 of them are considered serious or critical. Yeah. So you can work out the rest. You can ask the other questions, any questions that you want to ask about it. Go ahead. Feel free. I probably don't have the answers to give you. I have my opinions, which I have given. Sometimes. Have I given my opinion recently? My opinion is right now, based on what we have seen, there is a hidden agenda. If the focus is just on the number of cases and the number of deaths and ignoring the number of recoveries, then there's an agenda. There is a little bit of fear mongering going on to present or drive to a particular solution. I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible. What that solution is, in my opinion, a vaccine mandate. So if you create enough fear in people, they'll be clamoring for a solution because, one, they don't want to be cooped up in quarantine anymore. They want to be able to socialize. They want to be able to play sports, which, again, you remember last week I was presenting and we looked at information where, with not being outside as much in the daytime, we're losing out on key vitamins that we can get from the sun, vitamin D. And the role that vitamin D plays in the fight against COVID-19. The CDC should be advising everybody to spend at least an hour out in the sun. There should be. Why isn't the CDC talking about going outside in the sun, getting some sun, soaking up some vitamin D, and if you can't do that, to supplement with some vitamin D? Why aren't the people who are the ones putting out information to the mass media, why aren't they talking about supplementing with vitamin D? Why aren't they talking about building up your immunity? Instead, there's all this talk about this vaccine. When is this vaccine coming? Vaccine coming for what? To do what? A vaccine that was just created? Or maybe the vaccine wasn't just created. Because, there is a patent on coronavirus. The US holds a patent and Europe holds a patent on a coronavirus vaccine. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. I did. No, it might not be the COVID-19 vaccine and it might not be the COVID-19 patent. But COVID-19 is only a variant. It's only a type of coronavirus. Coronavirus is the family of viruses. The ones that affect your upper respiratory tract and have certain symptoms, all of which show up in COVID-19. It's just how the virus reacts that gives it a different identity. So here it is. COVID-19 is out and about, and you're talking about the deaths from COVID-19. You're talking about the amount of people infected with COVID-19, and they're not talking about the recoveries. There are 7 times as many. Not my figures. It's the figures that are put out there for everybody to see and for everybody to use. But 3 parts of the figures are put out and only 2 are observed. Why? Right. Think on that for a moment. Put that in a pipe and smoke it. Let it, let that bubble, let that simmer in the pot of soup. Tell me what you come up with after that. Now, if the infected people don't know they have the virus, they might not feel a need to follow all mitigation guidelines like wearing a mask, and could then infect others. Not to mention the problems with wearing a mask. Good gee, whoa. Ah, boy. Don't let me get started there. Because today, I had to go on the road today, and here's this guy walking in the South Florida sun on the road wearing a mask. Just him. I saw nobody before him. I saw nobody behind him. Just him wearing a mask. Midday sun. Well, this was mid-morning sun. I was like, what's going on here? And then on the way home, here's this dude driving this car wearing a mask. Just him in the car. I'm like, really? Is this what we do? We just listen to whatever some people say. If they appear to be a little bit intelligent or they appear to have a position of power, then you just automatically believe that what they're saying is going to be true, without doing a little bit of research yourself. I don't care who you are. My doctor tells me something, I'm still going to go look it up. Why? Because this is me. Ultimately, I am responsible for me. I have to look out for my health. The doctor gets paid to do it. Either way, they're going to get paid. But really and truly, the doctor can't do anything for me without me giving the doctor information, whether I give it voluntarily or not. Whereas I don't need to give me information. I know what is going on with me. So you're the only person that will look out for you 100% is you. Unless you have something wrong with you. And, there are those people too. But the only person that's going to look out for you 100 is you. So do the things that you're going to need to do to ensure your safety. Walking on the street, just you, on a hot day, you're going to use a mask for what? Driving in a car, just you, you're wearing a mask for what? Just because I said on the news, people need to remember to wear their masks. Okay. You listen to the rest of that bit of information when going into stores and interacting with other people. All right. Let me come off of that for a moment. Although patients who were asymptomatic experienced less harm to themselves, they may have been unaware of the disease and therefore not isolated themselves or sought treatment. Or they may have been overlooked by healthcare workers and thus unknowingly transmitted the virus to others. according to the Wuhan study, which was published in the journal JAMA Network Open. That study did, however, find a little bit of good news. Asymptomatic patients might emit the virus for a shorter period of time than those who do show symptoms of the coronavirus. That was a bit of good news that they found in that study, which to me just adds to the number of questions that can be asked. So if there are people that are asymptomatic and if they have the virus, it stays with them, or they emit the virus for a shorter period of time, what do these asymptomatic people have in common? Because we haven't been given that information yet. What do these asymptomatic people have in common? And I haven't found that information. And I have some more information to present to you when we come back from the break that we're going to go on in a short while. But it's not in that either. So what do they have in common? You can throw out ideas, you can throw out theories, you can throw out whatever you want to throw out. Just don't throw out logic. Don't throw out common sense. Don't throw out your ability to ask further questions. Don't throw out your ability to seek more information. But go ahead and throw out any question you want. Yeah. Play on words. But you get the picture. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. It's a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, right here on kevinstew.com and affiliate stations. Call a friend, tell a friend, invite somebody. Share. Let them know that we're talking about... Oh, I didn't even put up the topic for tonight. That's not it. Yeah. More about the asymptomatic. That's our topic tonight. We'll be right back after these few messages. Call a friend, like I said, tell a friend. See you back here in just a few. We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly
I
and
learned
useless.
that I'm trash.
And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm
I
pathetic
learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today in
I learned that
school,
I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes
In
me.
biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in math,
I make people
I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today.
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about PALACE. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This nonprofit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, PALACE has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
I'm Khalib Thompson.
I'm David Muir.
And we are the co-founders of a cultural nonprofit in Florida called Island Space.
For many reasons, now more than ever, we need the support of our communities.
As Caribbean Americans, we have the unique ability to claim everyone from the island as members of our Caribbean American family.
We are working to create a home for that family.
The Island Archives will become an internationally recognized museum of history.
Visitors can learn that although we are unique, we are truly stronger together.
Learn more at islandspacefl.org.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is working to help keep you and your community safe from the threat of novel or new coronavirus. Take the following everyday steps to help avoid the spread of all respiratory viruses. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away and then wash your hands. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects or surfaces, such as remote controls and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And stay home if you are sick. Call your healthcare provider if you develop fever, cough, or difficulty breathing. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Wow, DJ Kevin's Chew have the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Chew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. It's a heart it up. Loud. The beast.
It's been a long time coming. Are you ever gonna change? Are you ever gonna to take advice for how I'm feeling? It's been a long time running, and I know you wanna stay. So I think that it is time we live like we used to. Right all around the city, singing with the top down. Let's take it back to when we were younger. It's been a long time coming, so put on a happy face. Grab my hand so we can let all of our troubles out. There's no care tonight. Take me for a ride. Even when the stars never will align. Even when it's dark and you lose your mind. Oh, right in the moment when your head is confused. Oh, I will stay in the madness with you. Don't you worry, cause you know I understand what it's like to be chewed up and spit out in the cold world. Baby, there's no hurry, as long as you take my hand, we can dance and I won't be the one to let you go. There's no care tonight.
Want to welcome you back to the show. It's Healthy Love right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew on kevinstew.com. And of course, the affiliate stations. I want to say thanks to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist that operates out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you. So just give her a call, 954-655-9000. Or email her at thealater@att.net. Now more than ever, we need those healing heavenly hands. And let me tell you, what healing you get from them, and you do feel like you're in heaven. She only asks one thing of you, outside of paying her, that you get off her table when she's done. You can fall asleep somewhere else, yeah? The sound of Royce. The track is called Madness. Welcome back. So tonight we're looking at a little bit more about the asymptomatic. Asymptomatic what? Well, those who have the COVID-19 virus and they're asymptomatic. We're looking a little more at them and cases that involve them and what has been happening, what is being said, what is being presented, what is being released to the media. And of course, if you're anything like me, you're asking some of the questions that I'm asking. And anything like me is just simply the fact that you question things. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, no big degrees, no letters behind the name, nothing like that. Just the fact that you ask questions. Now, for months, researchers have warned that people without any COVID-19 symptoms could still be silent carriers of the disease, making it that much harder to get the pandemic under control. And also that much more important to take precautions, like social distancing and wearing a mask, even if you feel fine. Now, this is information that was presented in Time magazine today. So, it came as a surprise. I don't know how much of a surprise, but it came as a surprise when Maria Van Kerkhove, the World Health Organization's technical lead for COVID-19, when she said at a press briefing on June 8th that asymptomatic transmission appears to be very rare. Say what now? The WHO is releasing information to say asymptomatic transmission is rare. Her statement came just days after the organization directed healthy people living in areas with widespread community transmission to wear fabric face masks in public to help contain the advance of the disease. Now, that alone makes you ask, wait, do we have all our information together? Are all the ducks in a row? Or are they scattered across the pond? I don't know what to go with. In an interview with Time following the press briefing, Van Kerkhove said she did not mean to suggest that asymptomatic people cannot spread COVID-19. She says, I did not say that asymptomatic cases cannot transmit. The question is, do they? And if they do, how often is that happening? Okay. Ms. Van Kerkhove, if you don't exhibit symptoms of the flu, can you pass it on to someone? Because the virus is there. So why would it be any different with COVID-19, which is also a virus, by the way? I don't get what you're saying. Von Kerkhoff says, there's not yet a clear answer. We are now month 3 into quarantining and lockdowns. In fact, we're looking to get out of that. We're opening up. And you're still not clear? What do you need to be clear? And why are you not clear? What is it that we should be worried about now? Why are you not clear? So she says the answer is not yet clear, but the WHO's analysis suggests symptomatic individuals are responsible for most of the coronavirus transmission. How do you know? She also clarified during the June 9 briefing that her comments were in response to a journalist's question and did not constitute official WHO policy. However, you represent the WHO. So what do you think is going to happen? The WHO laid out its thinking in its latest guidance on face masks, which was circulated on June 5th and was based on a number of reports that examined COVID-19 community spread and transmission dynamics, as well as not yet published findings from contact tracing reports from multiple WHO member states. So there is special information in the not yet published findings. Which findings could these be that are not yet published? Do pray tell. Because at this stage of the game, I find it hard to believe that there's information that we do not have. We already recognize that the virus is around. We recognize that the virus is spreading. We recognize that there are some people who have died as a result of contracting the virus. We recognize that most of those people that have died have underlying conditions. And we recognize, although it's not really said, that on average across the globe, you have 7 times more recoveries than you do deaths. Using a global number. Well, in the US alone. Let's use a US number. Since the US has reported the highest number of cases, you have 114,000 deaths, you have 7 times that in recoveries. So 100,000 deaths, 700,000 recoveries. Can you understand why a lot of people are saying that COVID-19 is a hoax? Can you now understand why you have people saying, I'm going out to protest, I'm going out to march, because even if I do get sick, well, chances of me recovering are greater than those of me dying. And yes, I'll be uncomfortable for a little while, but when you get the flu, you're uncomfortable for a little while too. And people have died from contracting the flu also, but you don't have this much concern when you hear about flu season. Things that make you go, Few of the cited papers explicitly examined population-level asymptomatic transmission rates. One, preprint, So that means it is not yet peer-reviewed. That research review posted to the site MedRxiv on June 4 analyzed 4 previous studies, 2 published and 2 preprint, that estimated asymptomatic transmission rates. The highest estimate was a transmission rate of 2.2%, suggesting asymptomatic spread is unlikely to be a major driver of clusters or community transmission of infection. Now, let me ask this. They're getting that number using the number of asymptomatic people that they have tested and found positive, or they're deriving that number from the number of people who are in a community that have tested positive that they think should have been more people showing symptoms of the virus. Where did that 2.2% come from? Who did they study in this 2.2%? According to them, the highest estimate was a transmission rate of 2.2%, suggesting asymptomatic spread is unlikely to be a major driver of clusters or community transmission of infection. So you're suggesting that the asymptomatic are not transmitting versus those who got the disease are recovering and recovering at a high rate, as in the time between getting the disease, the virus, and the time and recovering is even less than they have said. The WHO's guidance also notes that some studies have found evidence of asymptomatic transmission had small sample sizes, which would make their findings less statistically relevant. In addition, the WHO said some of these studies did not rule out alternative explanations for how some patients may have contracted the virus, like touching a contaminated surface. Well, there's that too. So, yeah, there could have been some people who are asymptomatic, but there are also some people that contracted the virus from touching a surface that was less than appropriate. So they shouldn't have touched that virus, that surface. That's a surface that was dirty. It had the virus, you contracted the virus from it, and boom, you're sick. Or, boom, you have the virus, but don't show symptoms. Numbers to get you in touch, 773-789-STEW. I didn't give you this information earlier. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, 773-789-7839. Of course, you can also Skype, and you've heard me talk about it at the beginning of the show. Jump into the Stew part where we're interactive. I can see exactly what you're saying right then and there. If you want to send me another type of message, feel free. You can email me, you can text, you can WhatsApp. Again, the number 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can contact me via the website. At the bottom of the page is a contact me section. You can write me there, it goes straight to my email. Simple as that. So all you need to remember is kevinstew.com. All the contact information is there. Just last week, researchers, last week being the first week of June, researchers from the Scripps Research Transitional Institute published a paper estimating that asymptomatic individuals account for up to 45% of coronavirus cases, and noted that the viral load of such asymptomatic persons have been equal to that of symptomatic persons, suggesting similar potential for viral transmission. Now, Scripps Research Translational Institute published this information. The WHO is saying, hey, listen, we have not found any evidence to suggest that the asymptomatic people are really transmitting this disease as much as those who are showing symptoms. Why would you assume that? Because the symptoms involve a bit of coughing, and it involves a bit of a fever and sweating, and, well, guess what? People who are not having the fevers and don't need to be on a respirator, they cough, they sneeze, and they sweat too. So why wouldn't they be able to transmit? As a matter of fact, shouldn't they be transmitting more because people should be more comfortable around them than those who are exhibiting symptoms that people stay away from? It's just my simple DJ, and some DJs are super intelligent. I'm a simple DJ as far as I'm concerned. Not a DR, a DJ. So whose information should we really be going with here? The Scripps Research Translational Institute or the WHO? One of the study's authors, Scripps director Dr. Eric Topol, criticized the WHO's comments on Twitter, writing that there are several studies not included in the WHO's brief statement that counter the scant data provided. Carl Bergstrom, a biologist at the University of Washington, wrote on Twitter that the WHO's conclusions were based on thin evidence, at least when taking into account what has been published publicly. So, again, I have to ask a question. That information that was published publicly, that information that we've been getting from the WHO and any other organization, shouldn't we be questioning it? Clearly, Scripps Research they have been questioning it, and you have biologists from all over the world and from various universities that apparently have been questioning it. Here it is, you have one biologist from the University of Washington. He is questioning it. So the WHO is basing their conclusions on thin evidence. They're putting out information that is not all the information based on what Carl Bergstrom is saying. We're not getting everything. And it's just like how the mass media would report on the number of cases. The United States is now at however many cases, and touched 100,000 death number. We have 2 million cases in the US and 100,000 deaths. But nothing about the 700 and almost 800,000 cases of recoveries. And we just gloss over it and keep it moving. My goddaughter last weekend, not this weekend that just passed, but the weekend before that, one of my goddaughters was really, she was really expressing herself and saying, you know, I really don't think this COVID-19 thing is real. And like, why do you say that? Well, if it's real, then why aren't people getting sick anymore? And guess what? it's a valid argument. Why aren't people getting sick anymore? So it's not the case that it is not real. It could very well be the case that it has been around for a little while and people have been recovering. So either they have developed antibodies or a lot of people are asymptomatic. Maybe, just maybe, the majority of the country has this disease, this virus. But guess what? Again, if the majority of the country has this virus and only a small fraction of the country is showing symptoms of it, what is all the fuss about? You know, why is all the noise being made? What is the agenda? And you can't help but think that there's an agenda when you use logic like that. Now, is my logic sound? Is my argument sound? It's sound to me. Of course, I can hear it. That makes it sound. But seriously though, what is wrong with my argument? What is wrong with the questions that I'm asking? And where is the rest of the information that the WHO has? They have information, they've released bits and pieces of it to paint a certain picture. Because if I'm going to be presenting information to you and I have 5 bits of information, but only 2 bits of that information support an idea that I have or support a conclusion that I want you to arrive at, then if I'm the only one that knows that I have 5 bits of information, I'm going to give you the 2 that I have and say, based on information that I have received. I'm not lying by saying it's based on information I've received. It is. It's not based on all the information that I've received, but it is based on information that I have received. And this is the information that I choose to give to you, based on the fact that I want you to join me in this fight, in this concept that I have. I want you to be in support of my idea. So I give you other bits of information to support my idea, knowing very well that there's more information. But I don't want to look bad. So I give you just what supports me. And typically, that's what people do. That's what we do. We go with bits of information that support an idea that we have, because it's easier to want to find information that we have than to change our position to say that we're wrong. But you don't have to say you're wrong. You could just say, you know what? I didn't have a full understanding based on the information that I was given. And that now changes everything. That is how you make a difference. We're going to take another break. We come back. When we come back, we wrap this all up and we jump into musical therapy. We're going to be back in just a few. Call a friend, tell a friend. There's still time to jump into the stew pot. The water is still simmering. This water is still nice. It's still bubbling. We'll be right back. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars,
You name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
Hey yo, this is Caramanti letting you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the Night Shift. Don't move.
When you grow older, you can do entertainment. What you want to become? Focus entertainment. Make that be your challenge. Pay attention to your dream. It's always no. True, we ambitious. Make them not like we. Them not go like we, cause we are go have things in a life. Get a youth for rich when you're rich. Take care of your family. Make sure your auntie, your uncle, sister, brother, alright. Everyone forget a small slice. Time to advance. Write down your plans. Execution. Create solution. Say me, I don't know me struggle, man, a business man, no hustle. When them do when me, I juggle. Learn fi build room from me uncle. Sell them one in a dozen. Some of us no first tune. Sit down, listen myself, pray the next move. The vision get clear. In a Sony, me want some share. You can call me black billionaire, or you call me black pioneer. Time to advance. Write down your plan. Execution. Create solution. Time to advance. Write down your plan. Get it to execution. Then create solution. Me a search for my goal, I'ma find it. Pass me a pen, make me sign it. Swipe and no swiping in a the cockpit. No mining, think me no care, me draw the line. From Jamaica to the Amazon, from the Amazon to the motherland. We are clear out everything around. Time to advance. Write down your plan. Execution. Create solutions. Time to advance. Write down your plan. Execution. Create solution.
The sound of Jadan.
9, 3, 6,
From the album 369, the track is called Time to Advance. Welcoming you back to the show. It's a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Healthy Love Night. I want to say thanks to Reggae Global Entertainment for sponsoring this segment of the show. Reggae Global can be your booking agents, your tour management organizers, your music production team. They can take care of your publishing, your copyrights, your trademarks, and so much more.
Time to advance, write down your plan, execution, create solutions. Time to advance, write down your plan, execution.
Give them a call, 954-998-8034.
36.
Reggae Global Entertainment, or visit them at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. I say, hey, listen, I heard about you on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. What can you do for me? I have this event coming up. I have this thing I want to do. How can you help me? What can you bring?
369, 36. What a thing happen when each of them combine. To advance, write down your plans, execution, create solutions.
So you see that last part right there? Create solutions. It is time to advance. We need to write down our plans and execute them. But that right there, it's time to advance. And like it or not, everybody has their objectives, good, bad, or indifferent. Like it or not, but everybody has something that they're working towards, or along that line. And government agencies are no different. So, before the break, we mentioned Carl Bergstrom, the biologist from the University of Washington, and what he was saying about the WHO's conclusions, that they're based on thin evidence. And this was also that bit of information that was published. So basically, we don't have everything. We don't have all the information. We just don't have it all. Now, Bergstrom also said the organization should have more clearly distinguished between people who are truly asymptomatic, which are those who never show symptoms, and those who may unwittingly spread the disease in the days before they become symptomatic. Topol's study on asymptomatic transmission found that few people who test positives without symptoms go on to develop them. But studies suggest it takes an average of 5 days after exposure to the virus for symptoms to surface. People in this phase would be considered pre-symptomatic, not asymptomatic. But it's difficult to tell the difference between the two. Naturally, because they all look the same. Even if truly asymptomatic spread is very rare, pre-symptomatic transmission is likely to be important. Bergstrom wrote that on Twitter. And he said, we still need to wear masks and distance to avoid spreading the virus during this period, probably concentrated in days 3 to 6 after infection. So the wearing of the mask is really to prevent what you have from going out versus from what is out coming in. That supports some information that I had presented 5 weeks ago, maybe. Could I be pushing it? Could it have been 4 or 3? Somewhere between 3 and 5 weeks ago, we talked about the mask thing initially. Van Kerkhove acknowledged that distinction when speaking with Time after the press briefing, and added that it can be difficult to distinguish between a mildly symptomatic and asymptomatic person. Now we're getting into gray areas. The blurred lines, so to speak. Some people may not associate mild symptoms, like fatigue or muscle aches, with COVID-19. But these individuals would still technically be symptomatic and capable of spreading the virus. According to Kerkhove, that is. But the same fatigue and muscle aches you would have if you start working out again after not working out for a while because you're in quarantine. But now you realize that, hey, I can do some of these workouts at home. And you start working out and you feel for some fatigue and you feel some muscle aches. Or you could just simply have the flu, which comes with muscle aches and fatigue also. So does that mean that anybody that goes to get tested now with the flu is going to be diagnosed with COVID-19? Because the symptoms are quite similar. With so much uncertainty, Van Kerkhove says more research on transmission patterns and asymptomatic carriers is required. Really? She says people should continue following public health guidance, such as wearing fabric face masks when social distancing is not possible, and should stay home if they feel unwell. Doing so in conjunction with robust contact tracing and isolation of people with symptoms will help keep COVID-19 spread under control, she says. All right, I'll come back to that. We're not ruling anything out. We're not saying that asymptomatic spread is not happening. But we're saying more transmission is happening among symptomatic individuals. People are looking for a binary, and it's not that, says Van Kerkhove. Bergstrom was more direct. The WHO's statement seems to suggest that people without symptoms don't spread COVID-19. Does this mean shoppers, students, protesters, etc. don't need masks? They don't need to be distancing? Well, as per Bergstrom, no. Maybe you have your own questions that you want to ask of the WHO. Going back to what I was going to say, and put it on pause for a moment. The doing the face mask and the isolation when social distancing is not possible. The staying at home if you're not feeling well. These are things that you should be doing anyway. So there is nothing new that we're told to do with the advent of COVID-19 that we shouldn't be doing all along, or we haven't been told to do or suggested that we do in our daily lives from I don't know when, however long. The very same things that we're told to do to prevent the spread of COVID-19 are the very same things that we've been told all along to prevent cold and flu. The very same things. Washing your hands, covering your cough, covering your sneeze, staying home if you're sick. All these things have been around pre-COVID-19. We've seen videos and pictures out of China pre-COVID-19 where people have been wearing masks. There have been some people here in the US who go out wearing masks, and people look at them strange. No, it's fashionable. Now you have designers making masks and putting them out. You know, are you wearing your designer mask? I'm waiting for one of my designers to give me a mask. I told I have one on the way. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what's up. I was given a description of it, and I can't wait to wear it. But I haven't gotten it yet. Needless to say, when you're looking at something like this, which it is said that more studies need to be conducted. So if more studies need to be conducted to give information relating to how we must interact with each other, how is it that there's a fast track for a vaccine? If all the information is not yet known, why are you fast tracking a vaccine? And you're fast tracking this vaccine based on what? I read today where Melinda Gates is saying the suggestion was made to vaccinate black people first because they're disproportionately affected. Well, if black people are disproportionately affected, then these same recoveries are mostly black people. It stands to reason, right? If you have 114,000 cases, 114,000 deaths from 2 million cases, and you have 780,000, almost 790,000 recoveries, but black people are disproportionately affected, then black people are recovering. Are you saying that the number of recoveries out of the total number of cases, the majority of those are not black people? And the only people that are dying are black people? And if that is the case, again, what is the common denominator with those who are, one, asymptomatic, and two, recovering? What do these people have in common? What is it about them why they either don't show symptoms or they recover? Because, again, the focus is on the number of deaths and the number of cases. Why not talk about the number of recoveries? Who are the people that are recovering? We don't have demographics with the number of deaths. That's not something that I get from Worldometers. I don't get that. I get countries. I get numbers. I don't get anything broken down into demographics, into Caucasians and black people and brown people, and not to mention that, oh geez, y'all don't want to miss Real Talk tomorrow. Can I tell you? You don't want to miss Real Talk tomorrow. But what are we not being told by the powers that be here? So yeah, there's more information about asymptomatic individuals, and the more information is apparently not that much more information. It's just another bit of information being released, saying the very same old things. Well, some of the same old things. The argument goes on. Asymptomatic people are transmitting, and there's one group saying, hey, listen, yeah, they transmit just as much as those who show symptoms because they have the virus. And if they have the virus and the virus is spread this way, then why wouldn't they transmit it? Here's what my feeble mind tells me. If the asymptomatic are not transmitting the virus, that means that the virus that they have dies in them. And if that virus dies in them, then the vaccine for this virus needs to come from the asymptomatic. Because then they have something that we all need to have if we don't have it. And if it is not something that we can have naturally, then there's some special engineering that is going on with this virus, and it is even more proof that it is not natural. Things that make you go, More things that make you ask more questions. And I am not anti-vaccine like many others. I'm just anti-vaccines that don't work. I'm anti-hidden agenda. That is what I am against. I have no problem with you having an agenda. Tell me what your agenda is. Why are you hiding it? What do you have to hide? What else are you hiding? We need the musical therapy. This has been real. This has been Healthy Love. Again, you don't want to miss Real Talk tomorrow. It's not very often that I'm telling you about Real Talk, but we're gonna take a walk through time tomorrow. Seriously. We're gonna do a little bit of a history lesson. See if we can blur these lines just a little bit more. The lines that divide us. Yeah. I'm intentionally trying to blur these lines a little more. The lines shouldn't exist in the first place. But I guess that would be my opinion. And the opinion of the rest of the oppressed. Because the people who are doing the oppressing would not say that there is a line. Or they would say that the line needs to be there. But that's for another show. Tonight is Healthy Love. And we're looking at a little bit more about the asymptomatic. Right now, we get into musical therapy. And we kick it off courtesy of Hezron.
Lord, watch over me with thy rod and staff.
It's called Resilience.
As I travel these streets, day out, day in. Protect those dearest to me with a ready sword. Let no harm come to them from the enemies. Many said there's no God, so they infiltrate and manipulate the simple and innocent, polluting the minds, their agenda, imposing laws of their sinful cause they want us to accept.
There you go with the agenda.
I stand resilient, I know. Every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. I stand resilient. know. Rule and reign. Jah rules and reigns. Yeah. Jah rules and reigns. Some say if you make it in a life, you have to know if you play ball. Not even like the terminology. Not like how we sound at all. Them say you can't reach nowhere if them no sign it off. Me I feel laugh to myself like a damn name God. Well, I'm a lion in this jungle, still I remain humble. The road may be rocky at times, but my faith, Lord, it never stumble. You say the liquor what the righteous have, better than the riches of the wicked. Not one of your seed shall sit by the sidewalk and beg. I stand resilience. I know, 'cause I know every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. I'm resilient, 'cause you said one of my words goes straight to the sometimes I feel alone, on the battlefield alone, but I know I'm not, 'cause you're all seen us, but you know what I mean. I'm resilient, 'cause I know I'm not a perfect man, Lord. I've got my own demons, yeah, but you'll never see me sitting in the council of the ungodly. 'Cause I know in you all things are possible. No weapon can come against me. With you, victory's guaranteed. I stand resilient. I know.
Want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show. It's called our musical therapy segment. GMAT Music Solutions will bring your event to life. They provide sound, light, and stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, DJs, bands, musicians, singers.
Sometimes I feel alone.
Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Or you can visit them at gmatmusicsolutions.com. Or you can also do your shopping, your online shopping. Check them out to see what I'm talking about.
Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up.
This is the sound of the Twiggerific one.
Don't you ever walk away from it.
This is Twiggy. A track called Don't Give Up.
Don't give up. You gotta know some talent. You never borrow it, no money spent. Can't get you out, tell them don't even try. And then better go repent. Live your life as it was ordained. It will be sometimes not, but most times rain. Easier said than done when you're the one who is feeling the pain. So you have to pray upon it, pray Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up. And keep throwing the towel or feeling blue. 'Cause one day you're gonna end up be the victor too. Just be brave, my sisters, my brothers, I'm talking to you. Your reward will be great if to yourself you'll only be true. But you won't be brave on it, brave on it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up. And you won't be brave on it, brave on it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up. Shoop, shoop, shooby-dooby-doo. The wagon is then we won't come follow you. Give thanks for everything. Success and favor your hard work will bring. Hey. Shoop, shoop, shooby-dooby-day. Everything up we run out of your way. It's now time to win. Tear them blocks down, now back down, 'cause every down out them grip on it, grip on it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up. Grip on it, grip on it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it. Don't give up.
Is it getting better? Do you feel the same?
This is the sound of Cesar.
Will it make it easier?
The track is called One.
Got someone
It's a cover of U2's One.
well, one love, one life, it's one need, life.
So very well done.
It's a share, leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you? Leave a bad taste in your mouth. You act like you never had love, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to drag the past out into the light. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other
kind of need to remember that we are one. Taking it nice and easy, switching it up just a little bit. This is Jamie Hinkson working out with Homebred. Talent of Jamie Hinkson on keys and the Richards clan on drum, bass and guitar. Dean Richards Jr. and I can't remember that other son's name. Members of Homebred. This is all South Florida right here. Brand new, brand spanking new. Lady herself, Miss Joanna Marie.
Been hanging by the telephone.
Maybe we can try again.
You call home and stay.
I'll be right there, Jode.
You told me you needed more walks, more talks, more
He can tell you anything he wants to tell you, Joe. I'll be right there. Just wait for me.
You need some roses, some romance, a little candlelight, slow dance. That's
This
not
is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew. I want your body next to mine.
I want to be right there too, Joanna. Yeah, really.
I've been staring at your photograph.
You don't have to stare.
Where you at today?
I'm on my way to you. Just wait.
I've been hanging by the telephone, hoping that you'll call home and stay.
I don't need to call. I'm on my way.
You told me you needed more walks, more talks, more feeling close to me. I wanna be close to you. I didn't know you needed some roses,
Just a little bit.
some romance,
Every now and then.
candlelight, slow dance.
Definitely.
That's not how it's been.
Really?
Maybe we can try again.
Yeah, let's do that, Joe.
Try. Maybe we can try again. I remember all the days gone by, and I'm wondering what I couldn't see. Yeah, baby. I could search the whole world over and never find what you have always given me. I told you I needed more time, more space, more freedom, free to do. Boy, what you wanna do? I gave you no roses, no romance, no candlelight, no slow dance. That's just how it's been. Maybe we can try again. Try. Maybe we can try again. Try.
If you're just tuning in, better late than never. Welcome to Musical Therapy. Yeah, Joe, right there.
I remember when you told me you needed more walks, more talks, more feeling close to me. I wanna be close to you. I'll give you some roses, lot of romance, a little candlelight, slow dance. Don't let this feeling end. Maybe we can try again. Try. Maybe we can try again. Try. Maybe we can try again. The closer I get to you, baby,
Kevin Stew.
the more you make me see. Kevin, so by giving me all you got. Your love has captured me.
This is Sonia working out with Tony Gold.
Over and over again.
The closer I get to you.
Never said that we could never be more than friends.
You tell her, Tony.
While inside I knew it was real, the way you make me feel. Lying here next to you feels so good. Time just seems to fly, flying away. I'm needing you more and more. I'm needing you more. Let's get love.
Come to me, baby. I need you. Feeling comes over me.
10 minutes to go in our musical therapy, 10 minutes to go in this, our Healthy Love Night.
Sweet as a gravity.
And you know what happens the closer I get to you? It's the more I lose it. This is Suzanne Sultry, one of the members of that sensational, dynamic sound out of South Florida that goes by the same name, of course. SDS, Sensational Dynamic Sound. This is Suzanne Sultry with Crazy.
I'm crazy for feeling so.
And of course, SDS has Suzanne, Shauna Dazzle, and Dottie. This is Christine Alicia working out with Tasha T. 6 minutes to go. It's called Love Liberation.
Every day.
If there's one thing that we need, not want, not hope for, need, it's this right here. I love liberation. This is how we're gonna close out the night tonight. Marcia Ball working out with Arajanai. It's called Brethren, Sisterin. And make no mistake about it, I'm your brethren.
Trust in me, 'cause that's the way that it should be. With family.
Catch you right here, same time, same place, 10 p.m. kevinstew.com for real talk as we close out the night shift week.
Just listen, this is what I'm trying to say.
This right here is what I'm trying to say.
And then you can call on me, I'll be a shoulder to lean on. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Call on me, and if I can, I will just put your trust in me. 'Cause that's the way that it should be. With family.
In the midst of all this madness and confusion setting in, when your wits are not about you, then on me you can depend.
Just when you feel that life is over and you no longer have your friends.
I want to thank you each and everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your support. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you a good night.
Oh, yes, I will.
Take care of yourself until later.
Clear the thoughts that's on your mind. Put the negative behind. Everything will fall in line. Understand that I'm your brethren. What more must I prove to you? How much more should we go through? How much farther must I climb? By now you should already know that I'm your brethren if you need her, and then you can call on me. I'll be a shoulder to lean on. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.